Okay, let's look at changing states in React. First of all, I have something like this called RFC. Let me just create a component called RFC. So I'm inside the React component, which I did using Next.js, right? So, and this is already running on port 3000. I can easily navigate to port 3000 on my browser to be sure I'm getting that. So localhost 3000, and I can go to /hook. So I should see page here. Okay, that's because I'm inside the hook folder. All right, so let's say I have a button here. I have a paragraph, probably a H2, which reads student name. You can say student name. Okay, so and I have a button that whenever I click on it, so I should be able to change the student's name. So I can call a button, which is change, which is change. So and this is just looking like this on my browser for now. Okay, student with change. So let's just get it done with a little bit of styling. Okay, so I can come here and give it a class of HScreen using Tailwind CSS. Okay, and maybe this thing is black, so I can say BG black. I'll do a video on Tailwind CSS, that one. So BG black stuff. So maybe the text, I want the text to be white, so I can simply say text white. So that selects text white for me. Okay, so this will actually make my screen to be like this. Okay, so I want to style the button. I can easily use apply in this place. I can look at the button, I can say button for button at apply. So to apply for the button, I want it to have a padding on the top and bottom axis to be 2, and the left and right axis to be probably much bigger, like 5. And I want it to also be rounded large is okay. Uppercase. So this will apply to all the buttons that I have. So I don't necessarily need to one button, and then can also offer some shadow. So can give it a shadow of MD. Okay, so maybe the color. I want the color to be text amber, probably amber this. So that is fine. Okay, so if I look at it, I can actually see that. So this color is not actually the color I want. I want it to be like a background color, BG color. So BG color, that's I will have it there. Okay, so that's fine. All right. So I can close this and just push my screen one side so I can have my browser on one side. Okay, so I can just have that. All right, so and here I can also flex and justify center, and I can say item center. So that will actually bring it here. So the justify is row, So I need to tell it to be flex cool. So that's it can make better sense. Okay, fine. So that is this. So I want some spacing here. Can give a class here, and I can give it margin bottom. I'm only interested in the bottom. Margin bottom of probably 4. So I can have some spacing around there. Okay, so I want to, like, whenever I click on this button, I need something to change, right? So that is where hook comes in. Okay, so I will need to import hook. So there are two ways. I can import the hook direct, or I can just type my hook and later import the Usestate hook, which I'm going to use. So whichever one is still fine. So I can just declare the hook I want. I can say const, and to declare a hook, I will need square brackets. Okay, square brackets to declare my hook. Okay, so my hook is going to be within the square brackets. Okay, so I can call it students. So the first initial value is students, and I will need a function to change the value of students, and the function is called set student. Okay, I can call it anything, but this is just a convention that people adopt in anytime they are doing state management. Okay, so the first value is the original value and second value is this. Okay, so anytime you're declaring a constant variable, you need to initialize it. So that is why you have it red underline. So I can simply initialize it by saying equal to Usestate. So I can just start typing it and I can simply say it. So immediately I click on it, you can see my Usestate is imported. I simply put up the function and I have my Usestate there. Okay, so I'm not even supposed to have this state inside to be here. Okay, so states are not declared. I can't just declare it outside. So if I just say, right, so it will throw up an error. You're importing a component that needs Usestate. Okay, fine. Usestate has been imported. I importing component that uses no works in client side, and also because I'm using Next.js, Next.js expects me to import to use client. So I need to include it here. Use clients, okay, because state management is a client side, and better know that Next is a server side application. So anytime I'm doing something that is client side, like I'm doing state management, I'm using an on-click button, stuff like that. So those are client sides. I need to switch to clients for me to be able to do that. So it's just very easy to include use clients on the very top of your screen. So that makes it to work. Okay. So yeah. So invalid hook call. Hook can only be called inside the body of a function. So I cannot call hook outside. All right. So it's good that you're seeing all these errors. So it will guide you to know when you are doing the right thing or the wrong thing. So I simply move it to the inside the function. Okay. I cannot call hook outside. Okay. It doesn't allow me to use a hook that is outside the function. So hooks needs to be called within a function components. Okay, so I save. All right, so that is fine and it is better now. So if I come here and this inside the parentheses of a Usestate is the initial value of my state. So probably the initial value of my state is John. I can just simply type John. So this means this is the initial value of my state. And to verify that this is the initial value of my state, if I come here and include curly brackets, I call students. Mind you, the initial value of my state, the initial value of my state is what? The value of students. So this student here is equivalent to John. Because if I come here now and call students, and I call students, you will see that I will have John appearing there. Okay, I can just have John appearing there now. So that is very simple. I can always have John appearing there. So that is the initial value of my states. Okay, so for me to be able to trigger this button in such a way that anytime I click on this button, I want it to change the value of John to probably another name. All right, so let's just get an array of names. All right, so let's say I have an array of names, which is called students. Let's call it students. Okay, students is equal to an array of names. Here I have Paul, I have Ada, I have Tony, uh, I have Ben, um, I have Sharon, I have Ma, I have Charlie. These are actually names of my student. Charlie, okay. So I want a situation where whenever I click on this, it should be able to trigger those. I'll be able to trigger those names, any of these names to come out. Okay. So let me just list more names. I have so I just have names of people here. Okay, I don't really know the lengths they are. Right, so I just have to. Okay, so let me just widen my screen a little. Okay, okay. All right, fine. So I can simply click Alt Z here, so I'll be able to see all the names that listed. Okay, so now I'm going to write a function that can actually handle this for me. So I can just write a normal function. I can call it handle click, or okay, whatever that happens whenever I click on the name. Okay, so what do I want it to return? I want it to return set students. So I'm going to now use the set student, which is the function I will use to change the name of the students. Okay, so set students is going to take an arrow function. Can simply give it an arrow function. Let's just say I have set students and I just give set students to Peter. Okay, I just give set student to Peter. So if I come here, if I come to this point where I am, where I have the button, I can simply give it an on click. Okay. Um, I don't know. I think I mistakenly click on something. Okay, I'm writing function. Okay, so I think I'm fine. So let's say set students, I have given it something like Peter. Okay, set students Peter, and I come inside this button and I type my on click. So I call my on click because I want it to change that, and I can simply say on click is going to I want my on click. Okay, I don't want to write it here. I can simply say handle. I simply call the function handle click. Handle click. Okay, so when I click on it, come on, load. So whenever I click on it, you can see it will change it to Peter. Okay, let's refresh again. The initial value is John. When I click on it, it changes it to Peter. But I want it to change it not to Peter, but to a random name here. to any random name that I have here and not to just change it directly to Peter. So I have to remove this Peter and pass a function inside it, an arrow function as a callback. So equal to, okay, I can just say math.floor parenthesis math.random, which I will use to generate a random number, and I will use math.floor to round it to the closest whole number, math.random, math.random, okay? So math.random, multiply it by students.length, students.length, students.length. Okay, so I'm using this math.floor, student.length. So I will simply call students here. I'll simply call students and put it in square brackets. Okay, so math.floor, will generate math.floor, will generate a random number and it will floor it. Okay, so just to show I'm closing all the parentheses that are opened. So this closes this one here and that is fine. I think everything is closed. Okay, then it will generate a number for me, and that number will be passed into the bracket here, which takes the index of the students that is being called. Okay, so that does it for me. And if I come back here and I click, you can see I've got Sharon. I click, I have Amira, I have Amira, I have Samiat, Steven. Can easily generate a random number by simply doing that. So that is an easy way to do state management using Usestate. Okay, share value, and that is it. I hope this short video explains that to you, and see you in the next clip.